Hi everyone, welcome back to Spiritual Growth Tarot. I'm Denise and this reading is for Donald John Trump's Saturday, October 3rd. Alright, so his forces in motion, his challenges, his real feelings, his actions, his karma, his future, and the outcome for the day. All right. And let's go ahead and draw the little Lenormand deck, or from the Lenormand deck here. This is Ryan Edwards' Maybe Lenormand. Lenormand. Okay, so back into Donald Trump. Donald John Trump. Forces in motion. Challenges. Feelings. Actions. Karma. Future. Outcome. Okay. Right, so what's going on? What's going on? I always hear that song. Marvin Gaye. Oh. Okay, the Hierophant reversed. Wow. So, with the Hierophant reversed, he is rebelling against the status quo. He's rebelling against the rules. He has... You know, this is his shout out to Proud Boys, and I'm going to do a separate reading on them. I know you guys haven't asked for it, but I want to know, like, what are the forces in motion that he has set based on his shout out. I want to know how that's going to go for him and for us, and maybe even the law enforcement. You know, because we're dealing with law enforcement for each state. This is part of what the Hierophant is about. So, you know, of course, it's him rebelling against law enforcement, rebelling against the rules. It has to do with restriction. I really, truly hope, we'll see as the reading progresses, but this may very well be speaking to his restriction by the powers that be, by our government. I really hope that he has, I mean, you know, I keep thinking like he can't do any worse to shoot himself in the foot, you know, or in the feet. I can't, like, how many toes can this dude shoot off before he's finally sunk? You know, I hope this is the last one and we don't need to be tortured anymore. But he keeps damaging. He's in, see, that's part of the reason when you're, so straight up, you're in alignment with spiritual law. You're in alignment with the laws of love, the forces of love and truth, and from there, you know, you open up to your wisdom. He's not there. He's not in that. So what happens at some point is you begin a pattern, you know, further on in your life, if you just keep going into that negative, you know, spiral, constantly moving from negativity and only towards money and selfishness. What happens is you self-sabotage constantly. So that, of course, you can see because, I mean, how many people, you guys are going to have to tell me, I've lost count and I gave up, but how many people he has either resigned and left, and how many people has he fired, you know, through his administration? And that's his pattern in his lifetime. He doesn't know how to do healthy relationship. And of course, it's because he's so selfish. So I'm thinking, I hope that that's what that is just that they're really tired of it. That, you know, the ones holding up the laws are, you know, but I don't know. I mean, we're talking Mitch McConnell, we're talking, you know, Bill Barr, my goodness. Yeah, normally he would be, like the Knight of Wands reversed or the Knight of Swords reversed, but he could be in here in this mix. Because without these enablers, especially Bill Barr, which he's going to take himself out, with Donald. That's just how it has to go. But without them, Donald would not be where he is. Okay, so the challenge to this restriction that he has placed himself in, that, he's created this, is the Page of Pentacles. Okay, so with this, he's definitely restricted by new money offers coming in, new support, new votes. The pages bring things in, they usher in something new, kind of like the aces, but maybe not with the just the seed of the pure potentiality. And the pages, they definitely have to do with messages. So with the Page of Pentacles, upright, of course, this could be, if you guys get this card for yourself, could be a new job, new opportunity. It has to do with manifesting. But this is a challenge to him. This is his challenge. Although I would like to see him with a new job, doing something very menial. Like, oh my goodness, who was it? A gal named Lisa, one of my viewers. She left this awesome message that the Eight of Coins means making new license plates. Lisa Teaz, oh my goodness, it's T-A-I-Z. You're gonna have to let me know how to pronounce that. Taze, maybe? Tyaz? I don't know. I'm so sorry. Okay, so anyway, that's his challenge. New job, hopefully. It also speaks to the lack of new votes. It also speaks to the lack of new financial support, I believe. Okay, so let's keep going with his real feelings. We have, I'm just going to lay the rest of these out. Real feelings, we have the Six of Pentacles. Oh yeah, he's got his hand open. He wants gifts, of course. Is he going to give anything back? No. Anybody that aligns with him ends up like this. What he's actually doing, he's paranoid. He's defended. He's beat up. He's beating up others as well, and he's making the rest of us paranoid. If we fall into that trap, please don't. Please don't. Please don't fall into the trap of fear. And please don't, most of all, don't hate him. Do your best not to hate him, because whatever energy you put out there comes right back to you, and you don't want to get into that. What you do want to do is get into anytime you feel hatred coming up. First of all, if he's speaking on TV and you cannot stand his voice, absolutely mute it, and you can turn on the closed captioning and you can see what he's saying. That's fine, and I do that constantly. And then on the other level is see him being held accountable. See him, go, instead of hating him, take that moment of like, oh, you know what I mean? Because that's where you could naturally go, just like, oh my God, this guy. Instead, imagine him sitting in a jail cell, contemplating, like, imagine him with his, like, facepalm moment, right? Or facepalm days and weeks and months and years. Like, what have I done? Because that's what this card is about. So imagine him in that jail cell, in that prison cell, incarcerated for years. And whether it's in our country or another country, I don't care, if he eventually gets there. And I'll do readings on that. I have all your questions on a list, and I will get to them, I promise. So most of them. There's a couple that I'm not so sure about yet. I'm waiting to hear back from you about exactly what did you mean. And sometimes, you guys, when you leave questions, please be clear. Do you want me to read on it, or you just popping a question into our community, which that's fine too, but please differentiate. That makes my job much easier. and be very specific with the questions. That the specificity makes all the difference. So anyway, don't go into fear. he's trying, he's doing his best to get us into that place of defense, because that's what he lives on. His special form of negativity, the specialists, the little negative specialists and demons around him, they feed on fear and chaos. If you send love to him, that's more painful to him than anything else, and it's really painful to them. They can't stand the light. They can't stand love. They can't stand peace and happiness and harmony. They can't. So get into your happy state and send that to him. So his karma, karma, Knight of Cups. So he has karma with offers. He has karma with the people who have been rescuing him and enabling him. Okay. Their future, or I'm sorry, his future, not their future. His future, well, maybe he doesn't. Who was it that told me this card has to do with when he golfs? It's him golfing, right? So maybe this weekend he doesn't really get to golf, or at least not peacefully. Now, if it's not golfing, on another level, the Page of Swords reverse is all about, because the swords are about communication, truth, and law, and mostly communication. When it's reversed, people are going to see him as just kind of like, hot air, that hot bag of air, all talk and no action, and they were definitely are starting to see that his promises don't go anywhere. He's been unsuccessful in building the wall. He's been unsuccessful in protecting us from COVID, like he says, because all he does is lie. So there's that. So that's his future. He's going to be seen that way as the person who the person who lies and lies. On another level too, this card could have to do with being, because another meaning of the Page of Swords are spies. So his future, he may have some very negative, this could be like other countries that give us information that comes through in a, very negative light towards him. So we can look forward to that. Now, his outcome, we have the Four of Swords reversed. So this is no rest for the wicked. This is no peace. This is maybe falling down on your own swords. At least that's what I'm getting for him. Like the swords are not, they're not up here and off of him. Maybe he's falling on his own sword. It's kind of like, not kinda, it is like the old saying of live by the sword and die by the sword. So there you go, there's that. Interesting. Wow. But anyway, on just a simple level, it's burnout, it's complete stress, it's, it's just, you can't rest. And most of all, there's no progress that moves forward. He doesn't really have any fighting force left inside of himself, because he can't, because, if you look at like the 3, 4, and 5 of Swords, with the 3 of Swords, we have a betrayal. We have an argument at the very least starting up, right? And then the 4 of Swords comes in and says, do you really want to fight? Do you really want to go there? Or maybe you'd rather like be in a more of a peaceful state. And so whatever decision you make with the 4 of Swords takes you into the 5 of Swords, whether you're going to jump into that winner versus loser mentality, instead of creating a win-win situation. Well, we all know what his pattern has been in the past there and what he does. So this is what he gets. He gets his burnout, he gets his ineffectiveness, he gets his lack of progress. He doesn't get to really proceed. So this may go, of course, all of these cards may very well play out beyond his Saturday. Okay, so let's layer the little Lenormand cards. So we have the Mountain, We have the mountain challenging. The mountain challenging the, so the mountain is obstacles, of course. It also, on a health level, has to do with colds. It's the enemy card, much as like the Seven of Swords in the tarot. It's a, an enemy. It can be a hidden enemy, much more hidden than the Seven of Swords, but it could be a hidden enemy. Ooh, hidden enemy in the government because they've had it. Ooh, I hope that's what it is. I truly hope. Okay, so with the challenge, with the Page of Pentacles, we have, oh my goodness, the fish card. Yeah, so we have a challenge because of his money. The fish card in the Lenormand is about your money and your enterprises, your entrepreneurial, such a hard word to say, entrepreneurial spirit. And in his case, it could even have, usually I would look to the ship for being overseas, but in his case, I think that watery element there can give us that, where are the sales and transactions that he has, that he's been involved with? Like that's a really interesting thing. Because that's a real challenge here. There's a book I just started. Well, I barely got into it, but anyway, because some of you guys had questions about where he's getting his money. So, I don't feel like that's a good thing to read on because it's too broad. But so far, what I can tell from research is that, of course, we know that Deutsche Bank lent him $2 billion over the past 20 years. Like that's documented with the Manhattan DA's office. And but there's this new book called Kleptopia by Tom Burgess, Burgis, and he's been following the money for years, and he's found that there's a world of money that has been flowing into Trump, and it has come from Russia, Ukraine, and Kazakhstan. So I wanted to let you know about that little piece of information there. So that may be part of this. So again, summarizing, his challenge has to do with new money flowing in. New money flowing in. There's an obstacle to that. Yay! That's one way to bring them in. That's how you hurt these kleptomaniacs. That's how you hurt these oligarchs. Is you create sanctions or somehow cut off their money flow. So, okay, he's feeling like oh my goodness. So he's really, really drawn to, because the money isn't flowing in. He wants the money, but he's not getting it, and it's making him numb out even more and party even more. And of course, with this being a Saturday, he very well may be at Mar-a-Lago, or somewhere at one of his golf courses. Either Bedmonton in New Jersey or whatever. Who really cares? We just want to know, how to protect ourselves from him. Or at least that's what I'm focused on every time. So he's partying, he's using drugs, he's drinking, he's all of those things. He's numbing out. And he's feeling like escaping into that even more. Now, of course, back to what he's actually doing. He's really hitting up his friends, his loyal followers. He's trying to get them to defend him. His shout out to Proud Boys was a call for help, because he is, he's down on his last. He's in his last legs. He's probably shot off all the toes, and the feet are just about gone, and he doesn't really have anything to move forward on of any substance. Now, his karma, especially with the Knight of Cups, is more of, please rescue me. And his karma, he has major karma in calling out the Proud Boys. This is the pride, the ego, the egomaniacal, rah, you gotta help me, kind of. Jeez, he's insane. Anyway, so this isn't good. So I think, you guys, rather than answer one of your viewer questions, I am going to, my next reading will be, and I'll do my best to get it uploaded today. And today's October 1st. So I'm going to read on the Proud Boys, just because I feel like it's more important. For now, for safety reasons. Okay, and then his future. Heart issues. Heart issues, because he's being called out. He's being called out on the, into the place where he hasn't kept his promises. And look how, if we just go with the images and I don't say a word, but I'm gonna say it, he's been stabbing everyone in the heart. So of course that's part of his karma as well. His future is for the spies to get him to stop with this negative spin. Wow. Okay, and then the outcome for the day. Oh my goodness. This is the card of illness. I mean, the coffin card is definitely of illness too, but this is longer term. This is a much stronger card. The coffin card can mean, in the Lenormand, it can mean an ending. But you got to go through the ending first before you can ever get to the transformation. But this card is about illness. This card really, really dives into the coronavirus. It truly dives into all things that create any type of, unease and lack of peace. I mean, it is the illness card. And this is ill as well. Yeah, wow. Wowee. I mean, it could be like a caretaker, but, he doesn't take care of anyone. So, does he have a caretaker this day? Does he get sick this day? If he doesn't get sick, on a physical level, like let's say the virus or some other problem because of all his drug, because we have to look at all the cards here, his drug use or drinking, his addictions, because of his addictions. If it's not that, and if it's not the coronavirus, it's some major affliction. But because the heart is right here, why couldn't these two go together, right? Yeah. Okay, well, let's see if I'm getting any more. Honestly, don't think I have anything more to add, but yeah. We're just gonna have to keep an eye on this. Because from what I can sense here, I feel like it really has to do with, he's ill. Money is an obstacle. Money is such an obstacle, and money is such an important thing to him. That's what he really cares about. Because he deep down believes that without money, he's nothing. That's what his father, taught him, and that's what he has taken into his soul. And that's what he needs to clear and work on. So, yeah. So, yeah. Send him lots of love and light, because that's how we bring him into the place that he needs to go. Because he doesn't like feeling love and light. He doesn't know what real love and light is. That's a deep affliction in his heart. And he will hurt his own loyal followers. So this is all coming down on him. Whether this happens on, Saturday, October 3rd, this is coming down. It could be a different day, but yeah. All right, you guys, I'm going to let go of this one and move on to another reading. Okay, thank you. Take good care.